Hi everybody, Stephanie with Vitality Health Solutions. And one of the most normal questions as a nutritionist that I get asked, especially one that follows a ketogenic lifestyle, is people are like, I miss bread, or what do you do? How do you do it? When I mention I eat like either bread or waffles or pancakes or homemade tortillas and all that stuff. So today I thought I'd show you really quickly how to make a ketogenic bread. And I'm going to take it a step further and show you how to even do it egg-free. Normally in this recipe I would make eggs, but because I do a lot of food sensitivity testing, and eggs is a reactive food for a lot of people, and that's really a challenge for them to bake without eggs, I thought I would show you how. And because this month I am teaching about autoimmunity at Marlene's Market, and with an autoimmune healing protocol, you wouldn't have eggs included in any of the recipes. And so if that's of interest, that's next Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. And then the following Saturday on the 31st at 10 a.m. will be an actual cooking demonstration and tasting and all that stuff. So join me for that if you want more information. But for now, we're going to make a ketogenic bread. And because it's all fiber, there's only a few net carbs in it. And depending on the fiber you pick, that'll change it a little bit. So here we go. This is going to be your binder. This is a half cup of psyllium husk. This is the egg replacement pretty much, and so I just buy psyllium husk like this in the bulk, and it's the cheapest thing in the whole world, but you could buy it in quantity, you could order it off Amazon, whatever. And then 1 cup of boiling water, and those two together is going to be the binding agent because it's going to swell. So then I have 2/3 cup of flax meal. So again, I buy whole flaxseed in the bulk because it's really cheap, and then I just put it in the coffee grinder when I want it and grind as much as I want because it's super fresh. But just buy flax meal for simplicity's sake if you want. So 2/3 of that. And then right here I have 1/3 cup coconut flour. So again, all these fibers are super high, all these carbohydrates or these flours are super high in carbs is what I'm trying. Is super high in fiber is what I'm trying to say, and so there's not a whole lot of net carbs to this, but you still get that sustenance. And for me, I like to get experimental with mine, and so I threw some of this keto fiber in there. Sometimes I'll use just different forms of fiber to mix it up, and it changes the consistency of the bread. This time in here I ground up some milk thistle seed because it's so wonderful for your liver, and so I just added that. But coconut flour and ground flaxseed and psyllium husk is just fine, just to keep it basic. Then I've got my Himalayan sea salt, and I put in 1 teaspoon. And then I do 1 teaspoon baking soda. I do a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. And then I also add in my oil. This is coconut oil, but you could use butter or whatever kind of oil. I like to use one that's safe for high heat. That's why I just choose to use butter or coconut oil, but this is just pure coconut oil. And I like coconut oil because in this particular recipe, I'm going to add in some pureed organic pumpkin just because it makes the bread really moist when it comes out. And so a 1/2 cup of this pureed pumpkin is 10 carbohydrates, and it's got 4 grams of fiber, so that's adding 6 grams of carbohydrates for this whole loaf of bread, which is a lot of servings depending on the size that you cut of the bread. And so it helps moisten it up, but it doesn't make it add too much carbs. But you can totally take this step away to make it less carbs. Sometimes I'll add in sun-dried tomatoes and some Italian seasoning just to make it like a sun-dried tomato Italian flavored bread. Oftentimes, well, see, I won't even have 6 carbs in this because I don't even have a 1/2 cup of this pumpkin puree, but still, this, like I said, this makes the bread really moist. And that's why I chose to use coconut oil, because I think the flavors mix well together. But the sun-dried tomato one is really good, and this one doesn't rise as much, but when you use the eggs instead, the recipe will really rise. I got my gloves on because I feel like it's easier to just get in there and mix it with my hands. And I don't know, can you guys see that? It's going to be like a sticky consistency, but I really make sure I mix it good so that the psyllium husk gets all mixed in there so that it acts as a binding agent for the bread. And like I said, using different flavors or different, you could put some stevia in there if you wanted a sweeter bread. Sometimes I'll do like some pumpkin spiced stevia drops with my pumpkin puree. And then do there's another video on my Facebook page where I'm making whipped cream out of coconut milk. And so that's really good on the pumpkin bread. This one though, if you just add a little bit of pumpkin, it doesn't really over flavor. And so it's still a pretty versatile bread, like if you want to put a sunny side up egg on it, if you want to make a sandwich out of it. I like to take these sun-dried tomatoes and just dip my bread straight in that. And this is what, like with no eggs, like I said, the eggs are going to rise, but if you do it with no eggs, and this is kind of my experimental one, see it's a loaf of bread, and then I just will cut my piece however I want. Today I dipped it in my olive oil with my salad, add some peanut butter, some nut butter, make a sunny side up egg, whatever you want to do, whatever you're missing bread for. But then just getting my little bread pan here and putting it in there and leveling it out. And you can see from this one, you really want it to get level because my bread looked kind of funky when it came out from not doing that. But that's pretty much it. You just put it in there and then you put it in the oven, and I bake it for between 45 and 55 minutes depending on the heat of your oven. And take it out, let it cool all the way, and take it out. Voila, you have bread. And this, you can use this recipe and make a tortilla. You could do all kinds of things. I make waffles in the morning. I use a little bit of a different flour and consistency, so maybe that would be a fun video to do. But if you guys want to comment below, I can give you the egg recipe with the egg one that's a little bit more like of a rising bread consistency, or if you want the specific ratios from this recipe or different ideas, go ahead and comment. Thanks guys for watching. And again, if you want to, at my Marlene's demonstration on the 31st, I will be making herb saged chicken patties, cauliflower fried rice, and then I'll have macaroons for dessert with some coconut, some kind of flavored coconut whipped cream. So hope to see you guys there. Bye.